In the meantime, let's go back to New York City. Want to get some updates on the case that is unfolding there regarding Sean Diddy Combs.
He doesn't kind of buy what the prosecution's selling. He thinks they've looked at the notes.
Yeah.
He thinks that they're cheating.
I mean, I would think that too.
But apparently what happened is commonplace.
Let's dive into one of the most jaw-dropping scandals rocking Hollywood right now. Imagine this. You're scrolling through social media, and suddenly, memes of Will Smith and Diddy trending together flood your feed. The memes are outrageous, the rumors even more so, and everyone is asking the same burning question. Did Will Smith have anything to do with Diddy's infamous freak-off parties? According to Will, the answer is a loud and clear no. But let's not just take his word for it. There's a lot more to uncover in this wild and twisting tale.
Prosecutors were arguing is not only does your client pose a flight risk, because obviously he's incredibly wealthy, has access to planes and a lot of staff, even though you said he turned over his passport to you months ago. They were also worried about him being able to interfere with witnesses and calling them.
Will Smith shocked everyone when he finally broke his silence during a fiery concert in San Diego, addressing the swirling rumors head-on. Standing in front of a roaring crowd, he didn't just deny the outrageous claims, he completely roasted the situation. "I don't have anything to do with Puffy," he declared, shutting down the wild memes and speculation flooding the internet. But he didn't stop there. With a cheeky grin, he added, "I ain't been anywhere near no freak-off. I've got enough of my own drama. Don't drag me into other people's mess." And then, delivering a punchline that left the audience in stitches, he said, "I don't even like baby oil." The crowd erupted in laughter, but despite his humor and bold denials, the internet isn't so easily convinced. After all, in Hollywood, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. But why is Will Smith even tangled in this scandal in the first place? It all ties back to Diddy and his infamous reputation for throwing jaw-dropping, over-the-top parties. These weren't your typical A-list gatherings with champagne and polite chit-chat. These were extravagant, anything-goes events rumored to involve all kinds of shocking activities. For years, Diddy wore the crown as the king of Hollywood nightlife, but recent accusations have pulled back the curtain, exposing a much darker side to his legendary parties. Now, as the allegations grow louder and the internet refuses to let go, the question remains: how deep does this story really go?
If they did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming and things of that nature.
According to court documents and testimonies, Diddy's so-called freak-offs weren't just spontaneous wild parties. They were meticulously planned productions. These events had schedules, staff, and reportedly layers of secrecy. Former employees have claimed that teams were hired specifically to book venues, arrange travel, and even stock rooms with certain supplies. And we're not talking about balloons or party favors here. The explosive revelations have sent shockwaves through Hollywood, forcing anyone ever spotted at one of Diddy's events to go on the defensive. Enter Will Smith. Will has been photographed with Diddy plenty of times over the years, which isn't surprising. They're both A-list stars who've been fixtures in the entertainment industry for decades. But the internet, as always, has a way of digging up old photos and spinning them into wild conspiracies. One particular picture of Will at one of Diddy's famous white parties has resurfaced, fueling speculation about just how much he might have known about what allegedly went on at these events. For those unfamiliar, Diddy's white parties were legendary, exclusive, star-studded affairs where every guest was required to wear all white. The guest list was a veritable who's who of Hollywood, oozing glamour and prestige. But while these parties seemed picture-perfect on the surface, new lawsuits suggest there may have been a much darker undercurrent beneath the glitz and glamour.
Guys, we are lucky to have Precious Miura here, and she's been at the Diddy parties, and she's about to spill some secrets.
Will, however, remains adamant that he had no knowledge of any of this. He insists his relationship with Diddy was strictly professional and denies being involved in anything remotely questionable. Yet, the timing of his statement raises eyebrows. He didn't speak out until a meme started gaining traction. Was he trying to get ahead of the story? Or was he genuinely blindsided by the rumors? Adding fuel to the fire, Will isn't the only celebrity whose name has been linked to Diddy's parties. Ashton Kutcher, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kevin Hart, and even Jay-Z have all been dragged into the fray. Ashton Kutcher, in particular, has found himself under intense scrutiny. Reports suggest that Ashton has agreed to testify in Diddy's upcoming trial, sparking speculation about what he might reveal. Ashton's history with Diddy stretches back years. They were frequently seen together at events and even co-hosted parties. But now, with Diddy's legal troubles thrust into the spotlight, Ashton appears to be doing everything he can to distance himself. Sources close to the actor claim he's even considering leaving the country once the trial concludes.
But why?
What does Ashton know, and why is he so desperate to get out of Dodge? These questions only deepen the mystery surrounding this ever-expanding Hollywood scandal.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Then there's Jay-Z. The rapper and business mogul has been named in a civil lawsuit alongside Diddy, accused of participating in some deeply disturbing behavior. Jay-Z has called the allegations stupid and dismissed the lawsuit as a baseless attempt at extortion. However, the mere fact that his name is being mentioned in connection with Diddy's legal troubles is enough to raise eyebrows. Jay-Z and Diddy have been close collaborators for decades, frequently appearing together at high-profile events and publicly supporting each other's ventures. If the allegations against Diddy are proven true, it could mean serious trouble for Jay-Z, even if he's completely innocent. In Hollywood, guilt by association is a powerful force, and in the court of public opinion, even the slightest link to scandal can have lasting repercussions.
Okay, so last hour when we left off, you had asked me, did Tony Busby respond to Jay-Z?
Yes.
And he did. So he responded 2 ways.
And let's not forget about Jada Pinkett Smith. Will's wife has been no stranger to controversy herself, thanks to her tell-all interviews and bombshell revelations about her marriage. The internet has been quick to connect the dots between Jada and Diddy, speculating that she might have attended some of these infamous parties as well. Of course, there's no evidence to suggest Jada was involved in anything, but that hasn't stopped the rumor mill from churning. With everything Jada has already admitted to, her entanglement with August Alsina, her separation from Will since 2016, it's not hard to see why people are jumping to conclusions. The layers of this story seem endless, and the deeper you dig, the more complicated it gets. Take, for example, Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, who has come forward with his own allegations. Gene claims to have witnessed all kinds of questionable behavior during his time working for the music mogul. He has even suggested that other high-profile celebrities were regulars at these parties. Though he hasn't named names yet, his statements have only added fuel to the fire, painting a picture of an entire network of power players who allegedly enabled or participated in these events. This isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's about a much larger web of Hollywood's elite and the secrets they may be hiding.
Basically, I was a Playboy bunny. So a Playboy bunny representing New York State. The reason why I need to clarify this is when you're a Playboy bunny, you are part of the corporation, and you are a bunny, and you do have a title and you wear a uniform, but you don't get a...
It's also worth noting that Diddy's legal troubles didn't emerge from nowhere. Over the years, there have been whispers, rumors, and even lawsuits alleging misconduct, but nothing ever seemed to stick. Diddy has always managed to maintain his image as a larger-than-life personality, self-made, wealthy, and seemingly untouchable. However, now with mounting evidence and multiple lawsuits piling up, it seems the walls are finally closing in. As more names continue to be dragged into the scandal, the crucial question remains: who else knew what was going on, and why didn't they speak up?
The judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs. Of course, this was the hip-hop mogul's latest bid for freedom as he remains in federal jail for his racketeering and sex trafficking case.
For Will Smith, the timing couldn't be worse. He spent the past year trying to rebuild his reputation following the infamous Oscar slap, and the last thing he needs is to be associated with yet another scandal. His public denial feels like an attempt to set the record straight, but whether it will be enough remains to be seen. The internet has a long memory, and once your name is tied to something like this, it's nearly impossible to shake the stigma. As for Diddy, he's currently sitting in a Brooklyn detention center, awaiting trial. His legal team is fighting hard to secure his release on bail, but so far, every attempt has been denied. Prosecutors have labeled Diddy a flight risk, citing the serious nature of the allegations and concerns over potential witness tampering. With the trial set to begin in May 2025, it's clear this saga is far from over.
But if you're Diddy, don't you want your notes back?
Yeah.
If you've spent so many hours gathering evidence for your side or, strategy or whatever, for me, I'd be oh no, please don't destroy, please return.
The fallout from this scandal is already massive, but it could grow even bigger if more taped documents or testimonies come to light. We could see even more A-listers getting dragged into the mess. While some celebrities are scrambling to distance themselves, others remain silent, perhaps hoping the storm will pass. But in Hollywood, secrets have a way of surfacing, and when they do, the consequences can be devastating. The most intriguing part of this mess isn't just the allegations against Diddy. It's the growing list of celebrities who are suddenly finding themselves caught in the crossfire. Even those who were once untouchable, like Jay-Z, are now under intense scrutiny. Let's be real, the entertainment world has always thrived on connections. Everyone knows someone, and no one rises to the top without forming a few key alliances along the way. But what happens when those alliances come back to haunt you?
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
JJ's name has been making headlines ever since he was added to a lawsuit alongside Diddy, with claims that he was present, if not directly involved, at one of Diddy's now infamous gatherings. Jay-Z, of course, has denied everything, calling the accusations ridiculous and an attack on his character. But here's where things get messy. For years, Jay-Z and Diddy were seen as two sides of the same coin, music moguls who transformed their influence into billion-dollar brands. They collaborated on songs, attended each other's events, and even publicly praised one another as brothers. Diddy once said that Jay-Z was the only person outside of his own mother who was allowed to call him Sean. That's how close they were. Now, all of that history is being dragged into the spotlight.
Tend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations.
What's even more shocking is the speculation that Ashton may be preparing to testify against Diddy in the upcoming trial. According to insiders, Ashton is deeply concerned about being dragged into this mess and is reportedly considering leaving the country once his role in the case is over. And honestly, who can blame him? The thought of being linked to something so explosive is enough to make anyone pack their bags. But the real question remains, what does Ashton know, and why is he so eager to get out of the spotlight? While Ashton and Jay-Z are scrambling to protect their reputations, other celebrities are keeping suspiciously quiet. Take Leonardo DiCaprio, for example. Leo was once a regular at Diddy's legendary white parties, and their friendship was well documented in paparazzi photos and tabloid reports. But ever since Diddy's legal troubles began, Leo has been noticeably absent from the conversation. Sources close to the actor claim he hasn't been in contact with Diddy for years, but that hasn't stopped people from speculating. After all, silence can sometimes speak volumes.
Be in love with someone. You can love someone and if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're gonna have complications.
One particularly unsettling aspect of the allegations involves the so-called freak-offs that reportedly took place at these events. Described in court documents as elaborate and carefully orchestrated, these gatherings allegedly involved a level of planning that's difficult to comprehend. While Diddy is at the center of these claims, the fact that so many high-profile individuals attended raises some uncomfortable questions. Did they know what was going on? And if so, why didn't they speak up? What's even more alarming is the evidence reportedly uncovered during raids on Diddy's properties. Authorities are said to have seized hours of footage, guest lists, and other documents that could shed light on what really happened at these gatherings. Insiders claim this evidence doesn't just implicate Diddy. It could also drag several other big names into the mess. If that's true, Hollywood could be facing a reckoning unlike anything we've seen before.
With the decision, I'm surprised that Judge Subramanian entertained it. He held a 2-hour hearing, which we were covering live, and he issued a 5-page written order. Most other judges, including the 2 previous judges, to consider this issue, summarily denied the bail motion. I think a lot of it stems from Judge Subramanian being a newer judge. This is a Biden appointee. He has a civil background.
And let's talk about the timing of all this. Diddy's legal troubles come on the heels of the #MeToo movement, which has already exposed some of the entertainment industry's darkest secrets. While #MeToo largely focused on film and television, this scandal is pulling back the curtain on the music industry, a world that has long been shrouded in mystery and myth. For years, the music world was seen as a place where anything goes, where power and fame could buy you almost anything. But now, it seems like those days might be coming to an end. As the trial approaches, the stakes couldn't be higher. Prosecutors are reportedly preparing a mountain of evidence, including testimonies from former employees, partygoers, and other insiders who are ready to share what they know. While Diddy's legal team is doing everything in their power to fight back, it's clear that the tide is turning. The question now is, how far will this go? Will Diddy be the only one to face consequences? Or will this scandal take down others in its wake?
This is video of Diddy's family arriving to court for last Friday's hearing. Prosecutors arguing that he misused prison systems in an attempt to tamper with potential witnesses. And they say they have proof Diddy used other inmates' phone cards or used 3-way calls with friends to contact associates that prosecutors consider to be a part of his criminal enterprise.
Hollywood has always been a place of reinvention, where stars can bounce back from even the most damaging scandals. But this feels different. The allegations are so serious and the evidence so damning that it's hard to imagine anyone walking away from this unscathed. As more names are dragged into the spotlight, the public appetite for answers is only growing stronger. So what do you think? Could Will Smith's denial be enough to clear his name? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? And what about the other celebrities caught in the crossfire? Are they victims of circumstance or something more? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy updates on this unfolding saga. Until next time, stay tuned and stay curious.